I'm sure I don't hold the future, but I'm sure there'll be a time that I'll be back too. So, uh, plenty of great moments here, and probably plenty more to come. Maybe when I'm retired, I can. I always said I wouldn't sing the seventh inning stretch. Maybe throw out the first pitch. But no, I don't know. I'm just some of the stuff is just exhausting. It really is, and I'm just trying to do my best to keep my focus where it needs to be, and you know, help whoever I can along the way here, and just take everything in stride. And whatever happens, it's out of my control.
Sounded sounded pretty cool to hear that when you talked to Gordon and to Pat today, that regardless of what happens, you would very much consider wanting to come back here. Could you just talk a few seconds about that?
Yeah, whatever I said to them, it's great. No, I feel like I've always been really consistent in that. Like, sometimes the narrative out there has never been right, and it's been frustrating for me to see some of that. But deep down in my heart, I know, you know, I've had some of the best memories here and the best times in my life. So, I mean, it'd be really stupid of me not to say, hey, like, you know, if they wanted me here, of course, always going to listen, because Chicago is a special place to me.
Kris, you mentioned kind of the exhausting nature of this. How much mentally has it been challenging when you guys, since you've come up, all you've known is winning, or the team trying to go get players, to be in this position where you have to kind of have that mental switch of being in a kind of a foreign experience? What's it been like for you mentally dealing with that aspect of this?
Yeah, it's just been different. You know, we've always been pretty much buyers, or whatever the term you want to use, at the deadline, and that's always been exciting. But you know, this is all part of the journey. It's part of the game, part of the cycle of baseball, and you know, I think anybody who's involved in the rumors or whatever are having, you know, as good a time with it as you can, because, like I said, you can't control it. So, you know, anytime a rumor pops up and I say I'm going here and Riz is going there, and I was like, hey, maybe we'll still be playing against each other, whatever. I mean, it's just, you know, that's what you got to do. You got to, like, I mean, you can't just sit there and sulk, or whatever it may be. Like, you can't just, you know, think about it nonstop, because then you go crazy, and then it takes away from what you do on the field. And I've been through that in early on, in 18 and whatever, 19, 20. I let it kind of bubble up in there and kind of, like, pay more attention to it in a negative way. And now it's kind of, for me, it's just, you know, taking whatever in stride and saying to I can't control any of this, so there's no need to stress about it or worry about it, or, you know, all those bad things that come with anxiety and worry.
Kris, you're having a really good month of July. Does it go through a player's mind, like, the better you are in the month of July, you know, more teams are going to be interested and that kind of stuff? Does that go through your mind?
No. That'd be a dumb way to think, I think. It really would. I mean, it's a good, valid question, but just me being honest, as a player, I think that'd be, you know, you'd be beating yourself up. It'd be pretty hard on you. So that's not how I'm thinking at all. I was just like, well, June sucked, so I want July to be better.
Alluded to it a little bit, but how are you guys, like you or Rizzo or any of the other guys, coming together and talking about this and kind of, you know, coping together with all of this stuff?
Like I said, we're doing fine. I mean, everybody has their own rumor, and I guess the good thing going through this in the off season and hearing about rumors and stuff like that is a lot of it is kind of just noise until it actually happens. So that's the most important thing to kind of focus on. Is some of the times it's just noise. But I don't know. I think everybody's handling it fine. I mean, as much as we would all love to play it together and be with each other the rest of our careers, because it's kind of all we've known, you know. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way, but I think everybody is doing okay with all this.
Chris, I just kind of had a follow up to Jordan's question. In this past week and maybe even those past 24 hours, you know, athletes' mental health has gotten a lot of attention, you know, from Simone Biles and all of that. And it sounds like you've learned a lot over the years, having gone through something similar. And I was just curious, just like on the individual level, how do you handle these days leading up to the trade deadline on the mental side of things? And do you try and find ways, I guess, to prioritize the mental health aspect of it?
Oh yeah, it's a great question, and it's a great topic, and something that needs to be talked about way more in sports and life in general. And I'm, you know, reading about Simone Biles, and it takes a lot of courage. You know, I know whatever it may be, she's getting heat for, you know, whatever she did, but it's like, you know, sometimes you got to take care of yourself, and if you're not in the right headspace, there's no way you should be on a stage like that. And I applaud her for that. It takes a lot of courage, but and at the same time, for myself, it's like, yeah, I'm constantly working on the mental aspect of this game, and I've never even come close to mastering it or perfecting it. But it's always a challenge, and there's always something new, whether it's a trade talk or you're sucking playing baseball or something off the field, or just a bunch of worries or the future and the past, and all that stuff pops in your head. And you know, it's just important to surround yourself with people who help you along the way, and pick up the guitar or play some video games, take your mind off it. And that's kind of what I do. Chase a little guy around the house, have some chocolate cake, some ice cream, that helps, and go to sleep, get 9 hours of sleep, and wake up and have a positive attitude for the next day.
We have anything else for KB?
Chris, are you getting any updates from anybody, Jed or your agent, keeping on what's true and what's not true?
No, I haven't paid much attention to it. And I don't know. I don't really care to ask right now. Off season, it was a little different just because there was nothing going on, but I got a baseball game tomorrow that I got to play in, and I'd rather focus on that. And you know, at times it's hard, but I'm just doing my best to get here, do my routine, do what I've always done, and go out and try to win for the Chicago Cubs.
Right. Well, we'll wrap with that. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah,
Take
yeah.
care.